That was awesome.
Welcome back, everybody. It's been a little while since we had a live stream with a guest that I've been this excited about. This has been a long time coming. The ads that you just saw were for Kalash Bash. Tickets are on sale right now. The link is in the description down below. Unfortunately, the match is all sold out. I know a lot of people like to shoot that match, but sold out pretty quick. That's why I got to get on that pre-sale. But if you want to meet vendors, such as the fine couple that we're having on the live stream tonight, as well as 50 plus other vendors, everything from small mom and pop businesses up to big corporations and everything in between. General admission tickets are exactly what you want. The campsite tickets are still alive. Helicopter rides, the airsoft, force on force skirmishes, those tickets are still alive, and the shoot house, all of which are still alive, but they're not going to last very long. So I urge you all to go down in the description and check that out. If you have any questions about Kalash Bash, just go to kalashbashtx.com. There's a ton of FAQs on there, or slide in my DMs and I'd be happy to answer. So, hey, where's everyone watching tonight? We're going live a little earlier than usual because we have some East Coast guests with us. So we're going to play nice with all of you East Coasters and your Eastern time. So that's why we're going live a little bit earlier. We want to be respectful to their time. Just looking through the comments here, I see a lot of familiar faces. What's up, everybody? It's Friday, so we can drink some booze, so that's cool. Typically, I can't do that during the week. So happy to see everyone. Well, without much further ado, I want to get right to it. Let me introduce these two. They really don't need an introduction, but JMAC Customs, Ash and Justin McMillan, are extremely crucial to my history, my YouTube's history, really everything. And there's a big reason for that we're going to get into. These two are very special to me, not only for their help with product and sponsorship in the past, but I really cherish their friendship, and they really are part of the community. They give back to the community, they came from the community, and they honestly support the AK community more so than any other AK company in the aftermarket world that I even know of, as well as every other platform out there. They make a little bit of something for everything, and they make a lot for the beautiful AK that we all know and love. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce to you Ash and Justin McMillan of JMAC Customs.
What's happening, Clay? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, man?
We're just hanging out. We're actually down here in Miami at CW Gunworks headquarters.
Hi.
Dude, so you guys have had a very busy few days, I've heard.
Very busy week, very busy month, very busy year, but wouldn't have it any other way. And very quickly, I see our guy Rob here. He's here for the soccer band content. Hi, Rob Solo. Clay, thanks for having us tonight. Thanks for accommodating the East Coast time. Hello, fellow West Virginians who are joining us tonight, and all of you from the Kalash community. So happy to be here.
I think a lot of people here absolutely know who you guys are, but let's pretend nobody does.
Okay.
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Ash. This is Justin. Last name McMillan, if we want to practice the proper pronunciation. We design, develop, and manufacture firearm parts and accessories, and we specialize in the AK platform.
Could have said it better myself.
There we go.
Heck yeah, man. And your home base is out of West Virginia. We actually have a video of your social media shoot. You guys can search around on the channel. And not just on my channel, but you guys have a big, very popular YouTube channel. It's been around for a little while, so everyone can feel free. Rachel, every now and again, drop some links to their YouTube and their Instagram in the comments for everyone, please, ma'am. By the way, Rachel's modding, so she is. She's not a very kind god. She's a fair god.
Hi, Rachel.
So relax.
Yes, so like you said, our home base is in West Virginia. Our sister company and machine shop, warehouse, and fulfillment are in Gilbert's, Illinois. And we are down here with CW Gunworks filming a super secret project.
So I'm confused. I thought you guys were making the 2024 calendar featuring Justin. That's not why you're in Florida right now.
Well, there could be some behind the scenes stuff going on too, but
All right. I think Ash is so tired of me asking that question. I've been asking for like 5 years now. So I wanted to get into a little bit of how we met. It's an old story. Starts way back in 2016. And it's funny. I was actually I was scanning through some old videos and actually found, I still have on camera, like the first time we physically met in person. But I talk about JMAC Customs on this channel all the time because there's like the whole butterfly effect. There's like one little ripple in my timeline that you guys started, and without that, a lot of stuff would not have happened. Because I can really trace so much back to when I was shooting competitions with my good buddy Chris Snow. You guys know Chris?
We know and love Chris.
I shot Red October back in 2016 for the first time and found out that people shoot AKs competitively. At least people were trying to create a scene where that was possible. And back then, sponsored shooters were a thing, but sponsored AK shooters did not exist. It just was not a thing back in 2016. No one really took the AK seriously in the competitive world. You had like these niche things like Red October where we just showed up and shot trash for 2 days. But seriously sponsoring people to take high-end AKs and really drill and practice and try to put up good scores with AKs, nobody. I mean, Chris and I would get laughed at when we would bring AKs to competitions. That was how 2016 was, and the years before that. I remember I had a Bulgarian AK, and I wanted to put an AR stock on it, and I found your Mod 2 stock adapter. That was my introduction to JMAC Customs with the 4.5 pin. So I bought it, and around the same time, Chris, and this is after we had shot Red October and we were eaten alive with competitive shooting. We were shooting every match we could possibly find with AKs. We started the Instagram page, everything. And Chris calls me one day and he says, dude, I bought this muzzle brake. You got to see this thing. So his mom was dating this guy that had some property, and he bought the RRD4C, your original flagship one, for 24 millimeter because he had a Sam 7. And he says, dude, shoot this thing. He says, it's the same company that makes your stock adapter. Shoot this thing. Shot it, bought one the next day. It was that good. It was the best muzzle brake I'd ever felt on anything at the time. And we both had them, and we started shooting our local matches. And Chris and I start winning with AKs. We start winning everywhere we're going. Taking first place at local Pirates of Texas championships. I still have all those plaques. And over this year between 2016 and 2017, we start posting all this on Instagram. And this company, JMAC Customs, would like a post here and there, leave a comment. And I remember going, holy Santa Claus shit, Chris, this company's like acknowledging us. This is so cool. Back then, we had no idea that you could companies could reach out and touch you on Instagram. I didn't even know that existed because we were so new to Instagram and the whole social media thing. And you guys were not big leaguing anyone. You would comment on people's posts. You would answer DMs. This is many years ago. And I remember I was talking to Chris, and we would always look at these sponsored shooters, and I'm like, how the hell do you get that? How do people become sponsored? I didn't know. There's no rule book for it. Is there a freaking application I fill out? Like, how do I get sponsored? And who the hell sponsors an AK shooter? I didn't even know where to start. And, every now and again, Justin would answer my DMs. We were buying more product and just decking out our AKs with more and more JMAC stuff. And we were putting up numbers that were just crushing at matches. And anyway, I know I'm rambling, but the story culminates when I'm sitting at the house one night, and Chris and I were just bouncing this back and forth. How do we become sponsored shooters? No one's going to take a chance on us because we like AKs. And dude, I remember talking this out with Rachel one night, and I said, look, I'm just going to send JMAC an email. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to type it out. They're going to say no, but I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to reach out to them and see what happens. And dude, I go in my little bathroom. I close the door. I'm like, everyone shut up. Just stop talking. I need some me time. And I sit on the toilet. I'm not pooping. I just sit on the toilet and I must have typed that email 3 times. I was very formal. I tried to be professional. Hello, Mr. McMillian. I greatly love your product. I'm shooting these matches. And I just spilled my guts, deleted it, and started all over again several times. And I finally hit send, and it was so nerve-wracking because, dude, back then we might have had like 3,000 followers on Instagram. We were nobodies. And I thought, this company's going to blow me off. And sure enough, I get this email back, and in the best Justin voice I can do, he's like, sure, man, I don't know how this works, but sure, we'll fucking do it. And I'm like, damn, I called Chris right away. I said, dude, he said he would sponsor us, both of us. And he's like, shut your mouth. I'm like, no, dude, I swear to God. I sent him the email, and that's kind of how it started. And I don't think Justin and Ash really knew what sponsoring shoot. We were all kind of taking a chance on each other, and it just sort of worked out. And man, a year later, we meet you guys in person at Red October 2017 with our freaking jerseys and our decked out guns. And from then, the rest is history. The moment Justin and Ash said yes to me, it built all the confidence in the world that I needed to build a YouTube channel, an Instagram, start doing events. That all came from someone who didn't have to say yes, didn't have to acknowledge us at all. When we were geeks on the street, they said yes. And all of this was a ripple effect from that one moment in time, which is why this is so special of a live stream to me.
Well, thank you, Clay. And we feel the same. So you always say we took a chance on you, but I think it was a calculated risk that worked out very well for everybody involved. And, we get a lot of referrals from you now. Like, hey, we found you through Clayco 47. Yeah. So your channel growing, your social media growing, your outreach, the Kalash Bash, all the things that you're doing in the AK community, it's just come full circle. And it's just like we're building that bigger, better community together. And I love that. It's just awesome.
I do too. And I will say this, you were afraid that, we're going to shoot you down. We're going to say no. And one of my biggest things that my mom taught me since I was a little girl, the answer is always no, unless you ask, right? So you take that risk to ask. I feel like we are where we are supposed to be in this moment, in this timeline, and you find your people, and you are our people.
Greatly appreciate that. And I appreciate everything that you've done for me over the years. And I think that you guys doing that, you're pioneers in the world of companies paying attention to AK shooters. From that, John and M13 came around, Arsenal came around. Companies that were never sponsoring shooters. I'm just telling you guys, I don't know if you really knew this, but I really think that you and companies like John at M13 and even CW really started the trend of taking that whole competitive scene seriously enough to put your logo on someone's competition shirt. There were never AK companies on any of those branded shirts. It just didn't exist. You guys are pioneering in that, and now that world is booming. You have companies only coming out to make stuff for competition AKs, and I think that you guys really started that trend. And you're slapping your bumper sticker on all these NASCARs in the shapes of AKs now, and so many other people followed suit. So you guys really started that trend. So that's something to be proud of, because it has blossomed into something really cool.
Yeah, we think so too. And anybody who knows JMAC and has used our products, they know that if we're involved, we're elevating it. We're taking it to the next level. And when we met you that weekend there at the Red October is also the same weekend we met Rob Solo. So it was just this ripple effect, like you said. And we also introduced the OSC. So that was our optics ready, suppressor ready, competition ready rifle. And we were collabing with CW Gunworks and M13 Industries to bring out those builds.
Yep, I remember that. In fact, I was just rewatching the video today at your booth. There were several OSC 13s. You were debuting the LAF at the time as well. I remember there's a scene I have on camera of Ash explaining how it works to a High Cap Clipazine, who ended up making his own podcast after that with Tufu and Ashley. And so that was super cool. That year was, to me, 2016 was awesome, but 2017 really ramped up the AK renaissance. And we are still riding that tidal wave now. I don't think it's slowed down at all. Certain things, ammo not coming in, maybe some importations going away, but I still think we haven't quite seen the high watermark of what the AK community can be in this country. I think it's only getting deeper.
Well, we have really busted out some new SKUs for the AK community, especially in the year of 2023. We were just at our machine shop and we calculated 82 new SKUs on our website for the year 2023, and we do not plan on slowing down.
Yeah, Justin has told me on numerous occasions, we'll be talking about something. He says, dude, I keep making product that competes with all my other product. He's like, we're our worst competitor. Because like you say, you'll make something and you'll make 10 other things that do that better with the same thread pitch, work on the same gun.
Our goal is to put ourselves out of business, so we always continue to make that better product. So if we continually put our previous SKUs out of, like we always up the level, which we're our best and own worst competitor.
We are our only competitor.
Damn. Well, I had a question. Years ago, I did some deep diving on your YouTube channel, and I know some old videos don't exist anymore. That's how long I've actually been following your YouTube channel, way back then, like 2014, 2015. Chris and I were watching your stuff. At one time, was JMAC Customs not doing builds and like custom work for people's guns before it was strictly just aftermarket?
Yes, we were. So when we started, that's where the JMAC Customs came from. And what we would do is just basically have a meeting with someone. And this was like high-end clientele, someone that wanted like either long-range guns or a very specific gun for
like a hog hunt. Yeah.
So like some things that I can think of is we would do 50 cals with the Night Force optics and the Barrett's, the Bore, what was it called? BORS, like the ranging systems built into the optic and all that stuff. And then we had
super precision builds.
Yeah, a client that wanted to do like a hog hunting gun. We do a thermal setup with a suppressor, and just basically it would be this all-in-one package that you could literally throw in the back of your truck, get to the hunt or whatever you were doing, open it up, and it would be everything that you would absolutely need to like be super successful in that hunt when it comes to gear. It was more than just the gun, and that's where the more than just the firearm came from. It was a total package. It was the mags, it was the optics, it was like a total kit and caboodle, if you want to call it that, of everything that you would absolutely possibly need for that specific purpose. And that's where we got our start. And you run out of high-end clientele pretty quick when you're doing, some of those 50 cal builds were $20,000 because by the time you get like a semi-auto 50 cal and then the optic, and then even like some of the thermal stuff with the Scar was, you're looking at 15 grand after you do all that stuff. So that's where we definitely started, and that's how the name came about.
But we were actually selling other vendors' accessories before we were ever even approved for our FFL. So we had an area there in our living room, and we built these pegboard stands, and we would hang the product from the pegboard, and people would come in through the side entry and kind of, shop around that area of our home. And then on the weekends, we would load everything up in our deuce and a half and drive all over the state of West Virginia and set up at, the local gun shows.
And hope we made enough money at the gun show to pay for our hotel and dinner that night.
We never did.
So when did all that start? What year officially was JMAC Customs a thing, a business?
Officially a business 2012, but prior to, we were already doing the YouTube, the gun tuber thing. So we were creating content for social media already. So, we were doing those custom builds in the background for the private clients. And then we were going to the gun shows to promote our brand locally, to, hey girl, I have all these ideas. It's just not ideal to sell other people's products. Let's start manufacturing. And, I was like, hey, let's go. Let's liquidate this inventory and do the thing. So
I still think we have some of that inventory left.
Military surplus for sure.
So I guess that begs the question. I mean, a high-end build like that, and of course, I already know the answer to this question. I remember there was a video on your channel that does not exist anymore, so don't try to find it. It was like, and I think I brought this up before to Justin, it was a very young Justin with like a robot that you had built, and you're in your garage kind of moving it around, and it looks like it's filmed on a potato, so it's old, so you're much younger. So my question is like, what is your background? I know that you're really good with CAD and engineering and designing your own product. Where did all that come from?
So that was my senior project, and I am an electrical engineer, and I learned a lot of my CAD and a lot of the basic design resources that I have today in that electrical engineering degree. So a lot of that had to be the your mechanical side of engineering too. When you go through an electrical engineering degree, you gotta get all of the little like other subsets of the engineering. So that was the start, but really more so than what I learned in college is, I'm a YouTube gunsmith. I'm a YouTube CAD guy. Like everything is available on the internet. And if I'm super like set on learning something, I'll just go all in and just binge watch video after video after video, and then just try until I'll figure it out. And that's always been me from day one. But I have always been mechanically inclined. I've always been into cars, mechanical things, and that led me to the engineering degree, in which ultimately led us to the business that we have currently. So
jack of all trades. Justin is so resourceful. There's honestly nothing that he can't do.
So Ash, how did you meet Justin?
Funny. Okay. So we actually went to the same middle school for a year. Right. And then reconvened into early adulthood when we were doing this modeling thing. So we were scouted by this modeling agency, in the middle of the mall, that whole situation. And then we went to the same university, but we never had any classes together. We would see each other at parties, but he would be doing his thing, I'd be doing my thing. And then at the time that he actually reached out to me, I was living in Charleston, South Carolina. He was like, hey, I'm going to do some promo for this gun company in the state of West Virginia. If you're around this area in this time, would love to have you out. So made it a point to make that visit and do the training and do the filming. And by the time we had our first date there, February 14th, by May, I had already moved back to West Virginia. So hook, line, and sinker.
Here's a funny story. We actually went out to dinner. My life was chaos. Her life was chaos. And I just got out of a terrible relationship, and I got disengaged. I like to call it disengaged. But anyway, we go out to dinner, and we had no clue what day of the month or what day of the week or anything.
Yeah, it was a Monday. It was a Monday.
We show up to the sushi restaurant, and there's heart balloons everywhere and flowers. I'm like, oh, look, they decorated.
Oh, no pressure. And first date is on Valentine's Day.
So they're like, oh, you're here to celebrate Valentine's Day. So our first date, we didn't even know, was on Valentine's Day. The crazy time of our lives.
It was really cute. It was cute.
That's super cool, man. You guys are definitely couple goals. For me personally with Rachel, I understand the dynamic that you two have. Without Rachel, this doesn't work. She does 75% of all the helping that I need. And we've seen you guys behind the scenes. You've invited us to your home for social media shoots. We've gone to NRAs and SHOT Shows and everything else with you. So we get to see the dynamic. And what a lot of people don't see is that you are still a very normal couple that helps each other out immensely, and you fill in each other's gaps. That's what I see whenever we're around.
Definitely. It's a balance.
I would debate the word normal.
Oh, we're far from normal.
We are a couple that try to balance each other out.
Yeah, definitely. Some weeks will be harder for one of us than the other, because remember, Justin still has his full-time job, real job, whatever you want to call it, on top of JMAC Customs. So we've trusted that we've got the right team members in place that he can, continue doing that and, providing for our little family and our lifestyle and our health insurance and all that thing while we're kind of navigating things in the background. But, he'll come home from maybe a really stressful day and, I see that. So maybe he can only give me 20%. So I see that, I fill that void and do what needs to be done. And, he does the same for me. So it's definitely a balance. Not everybody can be 100% of the time. So we work really well together. And then there's oftentimes he'll come home and he'll see that I just haven't left from the spot that I was working when he went out the door for work that morning. And he'll be like, okay, girl, let's go. We're going to Mexican. You need to get out of the house. So kind of take that space away so that, I can eat and do my happy dance and then dance in the car on the way home and then back to work. So just that fun balance of, work life, home life, date night.
So you touched on something that's lost on a lot of people when it comes to, I I'm using the word small business, but I know your business has bloomed. But for lack of a better term, you're a privately owned small business.
Correct.
A lot of people totally don't understand that a lot of people in y'all's position and others still have full-time day jobs for a long time, deep into this entrepreneurial excursion that you've been on for a better part of a decade. The amount of time and effort and work and dedication and sacrifice that takes is lost on so many people. So I applaud people that have that hustle in them, and you guys have so much hustle. I can't believe Justin still has his day job. I know it pays well, but still, man, I just can't believe it. But
our motto is, why work 9 to 5 when you can work 24/7?
Well, and you're one to talk, Clay. You're doing the same exact thing. So
I know.
You're hustling too, and you've got a lot of things going on for you. So,
and it's funny because Rachel hates it more than I do. I guess she sees the stress of the day job and everything else, and she's the one that tells me to slow down all the time. I'll never tell myself to, but it's always her that makes me slow down from time to time. So it's good that it's good that she tells me to do that, because otherwise I won't, and these bags would get worse and worse.
Hey, I've got some cosmetic things that I can send you for Christmas, like as your JMAC stocking, if you want. I used them today. They're like little jelly eye patches that give you vitamin C and brightening and retinol.
Yeah, send them. I'll use them.
We have to tell each other to slow down every once in a while.
We do.
We're both so driven, firstborn.
We call it firstborn child syndrome. So that aim for perfection, like for us, it's never good enough, right? So someone else can see it and think, oh, it's so amazing. We're like, what can we do to make it better? But I also think that is like attributed to our success, because we can make it better, and we do. If we can make it better, we do. And that's why you'll see, our RD4 was actually the very first muscle device we came out with, and we saw we can make it better. So as we phased that out, it became the RRD4C. Then we were like, oh, well, guess what? Now we can suppress this. So we've got the RRD4C ready to, accept the key mount suppressors. Oh, we can make it even better. Now we've got the X37. You can do direct threads. So that's just what we do. We build upon these ideas because we know we can make them innovative and better.
Do either of you have other business owners in the family, or would you say you're like first time entrepreneurial spirits in your family?
Yeah, my side of the family. Yeah, my aunt and her husband had a law firm. My mom does some like baking and planning for like weddings, birthdays, graduations on the side of her real job. Let's see.
I guess what I'm getting at is,
off the top of my head.
Were you guys always driven, even at a young age? Did you ever think at a young age that you would open your own business and have it become as successful? Was that always something? Did you ever think when you were young you were just going to do your own thing, or were you going to always do the safe bet and have a regular job?
Well, I think you should tell them the story of how you told your dad you wanted to be an entrepreneur, and then he told you, yeah.
So, to be honest, I wasn't a very productive child. I always had a job, but I was like video gamer, stay up all night, sleep all day type. And I never really, I had ambitions for myself, but I never thought I would do like anything big, or I don't know. So like I told my dad, and this was way prior to JMAC. This was when I was going to college. Dad's like, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to have my own business. He's like, well, that's great. I love that. I support that. But how are you going to support having a business? What are you going to do from the time you leave college and then have the business? I'm like, no, I just want to go straight into business. He's like, that's great. Where are you getting the money? And I was like, oh, yeah, that kind of makes sense. So Dad kind of pushed me like, if you want to have a business, that's great, but you got to have some sort of career or 9 to 5 to kind of build up those funds to start the business. And at the time, you're younger and you're like, I can do this, but as you get older, you realize that's right. Really sound advice. Anybody that wants to start their own business, I don't know how you would do it without having some sort of background funding or some sort of job to kind of get that those funds in place. But I never really thought like I was like the typical ADD video gamer, so I never really saw myself like doing anything crazy big. So
But I was always a believer and the biggest cheerleader. And, I've worked many jobs and have so much experience in so many areas of just work and life, retail, banking, law office, things of that nature. And then just applying that to this business, I've always had a love for marketing and just a love for people. I have a degree in psychology, so I feel like I pick up on vibes and just what people are thinking, or if they're trying to portray this message of, hey, this is my AK and I kind of want to do this. I'm like, got you, boom, 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 boom. And that's kind of where my basic to bougie series has blossomed from too. So I feel like we've always been, can we do and can we be better? But back to his dad, Randy is always the kind of person who's super level-headed. We can go to him with any idea. And, you can have this idea, but until you say it out loud, and it's not like we're looking for permission or, someone to tell us yes or no. It's just hearing yourself say it out loud and then hearing someone say it back to you. You're like, okay, yeah, this does make sense. And that did make sense at the time. So, if you are capable of continuing your work and pursuing your dream and your side hustle, find your niche and pursue your side hustle. And then just, instead of 9 to 5, you can work 24/7.
It's awesome that you talked about your dad. Your dad, we can all see where Justin gets it. Your dad looks like, your dad looks like he could have been in Tombstone, like walking right down the road to the OK Corral with all 4 other dudes. Like, he just looks like this old school cowboy.
That's his vibe right now.
Yeah, like super cool looking dude. So going back to your dad, I'm extremely close with my dad, and I take his word as gospel as well. So hopefully our dads can meet one day, because they're both standalone mustache. They rock it well. They would get along. When your dad gave you all that advice and it eventually worked out, what would you say was like that moment where you were so proud to show your dad? I think I know the answer to this question. When you feel like something you showed your dad, something you involved him in, where you were like, yes, finally, I feel like my dad's proud of me in this moment. Was there one time where you really got that feeling?
If I can say from an outsider, I would say when we invited Randy to be a part of the RRD 4C testing, when we were doing all the muzzle device testing, he was so happy to see how the design and the development was coming along. He helped us create a rig so that there could be no human error in the effectiveness of the muzzle. We spent a lot of time, a lot of money, energy, effort, SD cards, creating all that footage. So from an outside perspective, for me, it's that, but for Justin, it might be something different.
So my dad has always expressed, he's been hard on me my whole life, I will say that, but he's always expressed how he's proud of me and the things that I have accomplished, even if it's something very small. He always acknowledges that. But I think one of the coolest things, and it sounds so silly, but with just like going out in public with dad and being recognized, and someone coming up and be like, oh, you're JMAC, I have your XYZ 1, 2, 3
oh, yeah,
SKU.
Rule King.
Yeah, and dad's just over there just grinning ear to ear. So like, being able to see dad like in that element where someone like is talking to me and like they're so stoked about the products that we manufacture. And it's not even about being recognized. It's more about like, we put something on the market that people love and appreciate. They recognize us and they want to come thank us for like making those products.
Yeah.
I think me being able to see dad be proud of me was that moment, or those moments. It's happened multiple times, but like he's got our hoodies and our t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
He'll go to Tennessee or he'll go places and people be like, hey, JMAC Customs, we know them. He'll be like, yeah, that's my son. So like, I think just having the products on the market that people respect and appreciate, and then like he's seeing that, I think that's a big deal for me. That's a proud son, proud dad moment, I think.
That's really cute. Anytime like he's driving by or, come to the house or we're going to their house, I'm like, oh, your dad has on the JMAC shirt. That's so cute. Like, love it. I love it.
It's the little things.
The little things, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure.
It's not the answer I thought it would be, so I'll
What
say
do
what
you
I thought
think
it was.
Gonna be? Let's hear it.
What do you think?
What was it like calling your family members and saying, "Hey, Anthony Bourdain is going to come to the house and film an entire episode here"? What was that like? To me, that's what I thought you were going to say. What was that like? That whole experience?
Can I be there?
It was amazing. And of course, the first person that I called is Dad. I'm like, "Hey, Dad, we got to fix him some food." So you're flipping deer burgers on the grill. Because, when you think about like Anthony Bourdain coming to West Virginia, he's a food guy. And that would be something that, like, my dad he used to be a huge hunter. He loves deer meat. So I was like, man, it'd be sweet for my dad to be flipping burgers in the background and feeding those to Anthony Bourdain. So that was an awesome, like, I guess we're not downplaying that at all, but that was an awesome day. The guy,
it's a totally different life experience. I feel like we were just outside of ourselves as it's all happening, because I mean, I'm standing right beside of Anthony Bourdain shooting full auto AKs and blowing up tannerite in pumpkins and shooting rubber dummies. And then you don't really realize until like it's almost the end of the day. And then you're, sitting by the fire and, having a cold one with Anthony Bourdain. And you're just like, wow, this is so surreal. Like
the funniest moment to me.
We had known him forever.
We were all like the whole production team got there way before he did. And he came like just for filming. And we were all setting up, and I was going through like all the training with everybody and what they could and couldn't do and all that stuff. And then he shows up, and somebody comes down and says, "Hey, Anthony wants an ashtray and a beer." So I had to go break the bad news to this dude that I've never met in my life, who's a celebrity. And I walk up and like, "I'm Justin. You can't have a beer. We're getting ready to shoot machine guns." So that was my introduction to him. It was like, "Sorry for telling you can't have a beer, but we're getting ready to go wild with some machine guns."
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I remember. We knew, I don't remember, I'm sure you told us, but we knew when the episode was going to air. And man, we had like a watch party at the house. It was so cool seeing that happen. And then later, I remember Chris and I were at our date. We both worked at the same place for a little while. And we're with a bunch of guys, and we're down in Houston. We all go in this no-name Vietnamese restaurant. I mean, they got one little shitty TV hanging up on the wall, but this place is packed. And freaking Parts Unknown comes on. And we're all sitting there at the table, and it's the West Virginia episode, and it comes to y'all, and like me and Chris were like eating our food, like, this is so freaking cool. Like, no one at this table knows what we do in our spare time, and it's just so cool that your episode's playing, and like we know everyone on the screen, and we were just sort of chilled in the cut and watched it, and everyone at the table was watching and going, "Damn, this shit's so cool." And we're like, "Yeah, it's pretty neat."
That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it was very fortuitous.
Did you send pictures of that? Like, "Hey, look what's on TV."
Yeah,
I remember
sent you pictures.
A story post, and like you were playing the Rain Down Africa.
Yeah, some random Vietnamese place, and like all my coworkers were there, and that was back when Chris and I did not talk about any of this. With, we just weren't working in a place that would that was conducive to them knowing that we did gun stuff. So we kept that very tight knit, and it was just cool that I was there, and we couldn't talk about it and go, "Oh, we know these freaking guys. We do this all the time." We couldn't. We just sort of had to like just watch it quietly and just sort of fist bump and go, "Hell yeah, dude, that shit's awesome."
Yeah, that's
like,
awesome.
Go then.
Like, I know those people, and we're part of that community.
So cool.
Yeah.
Something that you said earlier when you guys get recognized. Something that I've always found to be so special is the fact that you guys still, even though your company has become so big and so well known, that you still take the time to go to live events and put yourself out there for people to stand in line, come up, shoot one of your guns, and talk to you. I'm happy that you haven't lost sight of that. Not that I think you ever would, but there's so many people in these comments, and we're going to start answering some of their questions.
Yeah, I would love to.
There's been a ton of them, but some of these people, myself, I was one of these people where I remember going to Red October, and I see guys like Jim Fuller. I saw John for the first time. I see Mike Pappas of Dead Air, being nervous to talk to these people. Like, it's like you hear of everyone seeing a celebrity at the airport, and it's like, oh my gosh, us gun nerds, when we see people like JMAC Customs, Mike Pappas, Jim Fuller, we get nervous. You guys are so well known, and you're all over social media, and you make so many products that everyone here in these comments at least has bought something from you, that when people come out and see you in person, isn't it funny that people in the gun world, manufacturers have like this celebrity factor to them, and it has nothing to do with acting or music or whatever. It's just you guys make shit that we all love so much that we are even nervous to meet you when we get the chance. And I see it at Kalash Bash. I generally have people come up to me and they're like, "Where's the JMAC booth?" I'm like, it's that huge freaking line over there. Follow the line. It's the biggest line.
You can't hear us. You can't hear the LAF.
But people get so freaking excited when you guys are around. And that's just, over a decade of being in business and the YouTube channel and everything else. And you guys have done such a good job of just staying in the community and being such a big part of it and keeping your face out there. So many people have like social media people they hire. And, what's a good example of that? Springfield. You never really see them. You hear the guy talk about like to a year. But when it's JMAC, like you see Ash, you see Justin. They're making the product, they own the business, and they're talking about the product all the time. It's you guys. People are invested in you guys. So it's really cool that you still come out in person and let people meet you. I know so many people appreciate that, myself included.
Coming to Kalash Bash.
Definitely.
And that is the only booth that we set up.
The only booth.
We do go to a lot of events, but that is by far, that's our event. I mean, that's, we really, that's our favorite event.
We very much look forward to Kalash Bash, but like you said, you're not seeing a lot of other people's faces, so I can't speak for other businesses, but I know for Justin and myself, it's very important that our faces are out there because we wouldn't be here without the following that we have and without the support, especially of the AK community. So, having your feedback and having people come up to us and say, oh, hey, I ran your 4C and I got first in competition. I got third in competition. Like that makes us feel really good that you trust in our brand and our products enough to run them in competitions and, take home the trophy. Not only is it a win for them, but I feel like it's a win for us. And putting our faces out there too is, giving that human element to the products that we design, develop, and manufacture, and also just showing that appreciation. So, it's a feat. It is a full-blown mission for us to get everything shipped out for Kalash Bash and, get all the way out there. But there's just no other feeling in the world like it when you see people all dressed up in their costumes and so proud to show us their AKs that they've got fully decked out with JMAC and running the competitions. I can't explain the feeling that it gives to us, but it's so intrinsically rewarding. And then when we're coming home, we're talking about everyone that, came up and said hi, and we're really taking in all of the feedback that you've given us. We're making notes and we're just so re-inspired. So the community totally inspires us, and especially Kalash Bash for sure, 110%.
And I love geeking out with somebody when they come up to the booth and they're like, hey, I got a Draco and I'd love to do XYZ to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's get into it. I love just talking with people about the firearms. I'm an AK nerd from way back.
Definitely.
So when people start talking AKs, that are talking my language. So I love getting geeky with them and talking products and kind of trying to figure out, what would work best for them for what they're using their firearm
for. Sure. And then they get excited too because, hey, I've seen this on your Instagram. I've seen this on your YouTube. I'm so excited. Yeah, I want to shoot fancy. Yeah, I want to shoot Azul. They know the names of the firearms in our videos and they're so stoked, that they get to see them and shoot them in real life. So it's just a super rewarding event.
By the way, everyone, be sure, if you're not already, go check out their Instagram and their YouTube channel. It's JMAC Customs everywhere you look. It's every day, all day. The content never stops. It's a really good follow. Even if you're not into spending money on product, it's a really good follow. It's highly entertaining. Very good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, we just surpassed, 2 weeks ago, 100K.
Got you 100K. So, very nice.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting for us.
It's been not easy to do with gun content anymore.
No, it's been a feat with the shadow bans, and we all struggle with the barriers that they try to put in place for the 2A community.
Thank you, Rachel. She's dropping links to their Instagram and their YouTube in the comments. Yeah, I totally agree. People know you guys and they like you guys, and I think even if they don't know your product very well, just the fact that you two are so likable will drive people to maybe want to spend money with you. Mike Pappas had that effect on me the first time I met him. I had no suppressors. I didn't know much about him, I met him in person. He was so good in person, likable. He could speak so well about his product, and he was funny. He was just a likable guy that I bought 2 cans right away. That's where I started my suppressor career, was with Dead Air because of Mike. And I'm sure there's a ton of people that meet you guys in person. Maybe they live under a rock and they just don't have social media. Meeting you guys in person and you having such a good effect on them probably just earned their business in that moment, maybe for life, because they're invested in you now. Just like I was invested in you when I met John for the first time. I didn't know anything about AK gunsmithing. I didn't know there was a world of AK gunsmiths. He just had such a good effect on me, and you guys said, this dude is the guy. Talk to him. And okay, well, I like John, so that's who I spent my money with, because I met all of you in person. And that's what really started me spending money with certain companies. I just liked the person behind the name. Before I even really knew all that much about the product, I liked the person that was behind it.
Yeah, you're investing in not only a brand, but people and a lifestyle. And we take like insane pride in Made in America and linking you up with, you know, Kalash Smiths, as we like to call them, in the community, who will, you know, treat you right. And like CW Gunworks is definitely one of those. And, you know, while we're on the streak of Kalash Smiths, I'd like to go ahead and bring Carlos in for a CW Gunworks JMAC feature, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's Poppy?
He's coming. No, we love. I'm just a gun nerd, and Clay, you know that we can geek out about guns or business ideas all day. And
I've seen your parts kit wall. I brag on your parts kit wall all the time in your basement. It was impressive, to say the least.
It's funny to me when people, like, exactly like you're saying, like they're like super anxious in a weird way to talk to me, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, this is just like a normal conversation with every person you've ever met in your entire life. So just calm down. Everything's going to be all right. It's just funny, though, like the way people react sometimes, like you're saying.
Orderly Wade, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Poppy?
Dude, you have caused me some heartache in the past at recent events.
How so?
Oh, man. Remember when you got Chris drunk and he destroyed our hotel room at Knob Creek?
Oh my God! Hey, nobody forced him, but that was a funny story. But you didn't even tell me about it until like a year later.
No, I told you about it the next day.
Did you?
Yeah, and you know what you said to me?
I remember.
You know what you said to me?
But when you retold me the story, I was like laughing my ass off.
Oh, dude, you were buying some VZ61 parts, and I'm like, hey, I got a little bone to pick with you. And you're like, what happened? I said, you know, Chris destroyed our hotel room because he tried to keep up with you and you like wouldn't stop. He goes, did you get this? He says, did you get it on camera? I'm like, no. He's like, well, then it did happen, and walked away. That's how you handled it, by the way.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that, man. But hey, good time. What can you do? That's a great story to tell now.
That was one of the best trips. That was a little speed bump, but man, Chris and I shot that subgun match. Remember you guys lent us machine guns. We shot the whole thing sweaty and hungover because of that Mexican restaurant the night before. That was wild. It was a good time.
You ran the little VZs, didn't you? Like the VZ machine gun and then the Uzi machine gun or something, wasn't it? Something.
Yeah, I shot your little Scorpion. Couldn't hit anything, but I shot it at the Knob Creek subgun match. And
it didn't. The 32 didn't have enough to knock some of the targets down or something. I remember.
Yeah, it was just like spinning targets around instead of knocking them off their stands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time. Well, what's up, Carlos? Hey, if anyone doesn't know who Carlos is, this is CW Gunworks, man. You guys know the name. This is him. This is Poppy.
We actually built an AK together today. That was what we were doing prior to this live
stream. Yeah, we were putting together one of the secret projects that's coming out soon. Will be a milled receiver AK based on JMAC Customs IMR receiver with the infinity mount.
It's not a secret anymore.
Well, not anymore, but because it's coming out soon. Yeah, it'll be a milled receiver based. Like I said, it's with the infinity mount. It's going to be in 14.5. It's going to have the JMAX MMS 11.8 MLOC handguard For like I said, 14.5, the GBC, and a chemo break, and of course, it's also going to feature.
Just so we know, we can't touch guns on live streams on YouTube.
No.
They will
Don't
shut
touch guns on live
us down.
Don't touch.
That's why I was.
Nobody gave me that warning.
Vanna White.
So the
Vanna
airsoft gun you just played with is totally cool, but any of the real
This
ones
is,
you
this is
played
a
with-
toy replica, 1-1.
Oh no, I know that.
But yeah, like I said, it's going to be all JMAC decked out, pistol grip, the stock, side folder. It's also going to feature their new optic mount. It's either going to be for the T1 or it's going to have a Picatinny.
I actually have one right here. I haven't opened yet.
Oh yeah.
So these things are
Yeah.
freaking baller, man. This new MMS rail is so baller. This is the new pick mount that they just sent me.
Clay, if you had to take a guess what a milled gun, fully decked out with rails, folding stock, aluminum pistol grip, forward grip, key mount, adjustable
weighs?
gas system. Yeah, what do you think something like that weighs?
I just weighed some guns, so I feel like I'm going to have a really good answer. Milled receiver, I'm going to say 8 pounds dead.
That's a really good guess. We're coming in at 7.8 fully loaded.
Damn. Loaded.
Well,
Damn.
no, just
Without the optic.
no, and then no mag, no
No
loaded
mag.
mag. Yeah,
Fully loaded with accessories. not
yeah,
mag.
fully from the decked out to the knife, from the front to the back, everything.
That's super lightweight. I just weighed some AKs. My M90, even after the barrel chop, is 9 pounds. My K101 milled receiver full length barrel with the MMS comes in at like 8.7 pounds. So to hear that you've got all that at below 8, it's pretty crazy. I don't even know if I have an AK that weighs that much.
Yeah,
Really
I couldn't
light.
believe it because he had done it while he was in Chicago, and he was telling me about it here, and I couldn't believe it that we actually had to bust out the scale and measure because I couldn't believe it when he said that. Because my Draco, that's of course it has JMAC, the handguard, stock, and everything, is around 7.5, and that's a 11.5 inch barrel AK stamp AK. So when he said
what profile is the barrel that you're using? Is it standard AKM profile? Or
standard AKM.
It's our AK100 series, Cold Hammer Forged, our new ones.
Dang, that's light. That really, honestly, is light for a decked out gun.
Yeah, I was very surprised by it. So it's going to be a really great rifle too, from either for just regular shooting to competition.
And where it is milled, it really brings that weight closer to you. Even if it's only 7.8, it feels so nice.
Dude, I'm such a believer in milled receivers now. Since I've been shooting my milled 5.56 AK so much lately, I'm all about it, man. I think that is the go-to receiver style. If you really want your AK to perform at its peak, that's the way to go, man.
Yeah, I've always said, like I said, that's why I didn't believe it, because I have a little bit of a prejudice with milled receiver AKs, because I always thought they were heavy and stamped. But you are absolutely right. As far as it's being smooth, especially when you're racking it, and then after a few 100 rounds, it breaks it in, and you can't compare that with stamp as far as how smooth that when you rack it. There's no comparison when it comes to the milled receiver.
And in a way, that smoother action will affect recoil.
Exactly.
The smoother it gets, the better it feels on that recoil impulse.
Exactly, and also I believe it makes it more reliable, because there's such smoothness. It's like there's nothing impeding and removing any other forces.
How long has this whole thing been in the planning phase, in the works? Like how long did it take to get to this point?
Probably,
yes.
But we really started taking it serious about 6 to 8 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
This year, yeah.
Yeah. We finally. I think it was the perfect time.
We were waiting for our barrels to come back out. That was a key component to that. And then the 11.8 handguard was critical for the 14.5 inch gun. We wanted that handguard come to the back point of that muzzle device. So once those started rolling off the machines, we're like, all right, time to send 4 pallets worth of parts to Carlos for Willie to unpack and Carlos to build.
Yeah, it was a lot of parts, but like I said, it's going to be a limited run of 20 rifles. So once they drop, like I said, or you can get on the mailing list. So when it becomes available, you'll know when, so you can purchase them.
They
Oh,
are.
man.
They come with, each one comes with a cert. I don't know what we're gonna. It's either gonna be a card or a letter of authenticity,
Mhm.
or a certificate card. So they'll be signed by both of us, all four of us, maybe. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we're gonna do that for sure. So each one will be, it's going to be special. These we're not going to go mass production on these. It's going to be, these are very nice builds, 100% what you would want out of the box. And we take pride in, he takes pride in building, we take pride in the parts, and we take pride in putting everything together and offering that to the market.
Yeah, and they'll be marked, like I said, it's limited. They'll be marked 1 of 20, 2 of 20, and
Ooh.
so you'll know that's it. That configuration. That's the only time we're gonna make this configuration.
Do you guys have like a prototype you're keeping as like a trophy?
Yes. That's actually we did the first one. I think about a month ago. So it got sent out to get pictures done and everything. And now that's why JMAC is also down here, because I built one and we did the video, so that should be dropping soon.
What I
We
find
both have
so
one.
cool about this, just being someone who has had so much trial and error, trying so many different things on AKs, trying to go faster and faster at matches, or just trying to get one ready for suppressing with the gas and everything. It is cool that in today's world you can buy a gun, and I'm sure it won't be cheap, but I fully believe for a nice AK that it's. I think we all know that nice stuff costs money, but it is cool that you can buy a gun right out of the box, and all of that bullshit that comes with figuring out your AK is done. The concentricity of the threads, getting your muzzle device to time properly is such a pain in the ass. Finding an optic mount that is centered to bore and that holds zero can be such a pain. Ask me how I know. I just shot 12 stages at Suns, and man, had a couple of dumpster fires because I just keep trying to figure certain things out when I just wish someone would do that for me. So this is cool. It's cool that these options pop up from really good companies and very talented builders that have built such a good reputation for reliable builds.
Ash was shouting some in the background. Rob has actually had this exact rifle for 3-4 months now.
I totally
testing it out.
There he is.
There he is. He said, "I heard you, Ash." He pinned the comment. I can see it now.
I totally forgot
he's
about
had
it.
one. He's been testing out for a while now.
Yeah.
Getting some I think it says JMAC Heart CW.
Yeah, he did on the lightning cut. Yeah,
that's cool. Hey, shout out to Rob. Rob's got a YouTube channel and an Instagram as well, so go check out Rob. Rob makes really great YouTube videos.
Oh yeah,
deep detail, and Rob's a shooter. That's what I really respect about Rob and anyone in his position. People that can shoot as well as they make content that's my favorite type of content. People that are shooters, and Rob's a freaking shooter, dude. I've seen it in person.
I don't understand how he has the time to create the amount of content that he does. It's just like insane. Like he's always dropping something like every day, twice a day. It's like, wow, how in the heck does he do that? And it's always quality content with good information. And
yeah, especially when he has a full-time job. Also at JMAC, so does JMAC, and like I said, and all that, and he has a family.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Same reason why he's such a good shooter, man. He's just dedicated, and he takes the time to learn how to do it well. So what else? So anything else you want to tell us about this freaking gun that's coming out? So again, remind me, can you tell us when it's dropping, like specifically?
We don't know yet for sure. So
yeah,
we are very close. We've got a lot of stuff to do on our end. So that's why we're here, getting video content. We're going to get that off to our media marketing team. They're going to get some hype stuff together for that, and then we're really close. We should be very soon. I can't. Ash is probably over here staring at me like, keep your mouth shut. Don't say an actual date. I can't. There's big lights right here, so I can't see anything. I know she's over here though, but it's very, very soon. Yeah. So we got to get the website set up for it. Finalize a few details that are left that don't have anything to do with the actual gun itself. More of some accessories that come along with it, but we're there. We're getting really close, and not to let the cat out of the bag, but there's a few that are already built that just need
What
accessories.
what color options all going to be the same color? What type of coating might they have when they come out?
So that's what this 20 limited 20 run is. So this will be 20 of the same exact gun. And right now, don't hold me to this. This is the options that we're looking at. It's either a T2 optic mount or a 1913 optic mount, and then the cheek risers. You'll be able to choose those. But the 1913 folding mech, or the IMR folding mech will come with the gun with a triangle stock. And then the handguard will be 11.8. It'll have HRD EXT and an SPGAK, which I know I'm just speaking Greek to anybody that doesn't know JMAC lingo. But that's our milled pistol grip and our milled M-lock extended hand stop on that, and our triangle stock. So we wanted to keep, we wanted to do the 20. 20 like this, and then if it goes well, we'll do another 20 that's maybe in Gucci green, and then if that goes well, we'll do maybe we'll do a 10.5-inch pistol in bougie tan. So we've got options, and I think if this does extremely well, we're gonna continue pushing this and have a lot more offerings. So, but we always want to keep it limited, and we want these to be special. Like, when somebody has this rifle, we want it to be something that they are like excited to hand down to the next generation. This isn't like I don't know how to put it in a positive manner, but this isn't like just a run-of-the-mill production thing. This is something we're putting our hearts and souls into. So we want this to be special. And I think if you crank out mass production, the specialness kind of goes away from that. So
yeah,
100%.
Sure.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're looking at all the hands that are building the guns and touching everything. You're seeing them right here. It's it makes it super special, knowing exactly who built it, who were the big brains behind it. Super cool, man. And that MMS rail. So you've come out with I don't know how many products since I met you guys. Other than those muzzle brakes, because I swear by those muzzle brakes, man, they just freaking work. Like there's no question, they just work. That MMS rail, I thought you were just throwing like some whiz bang lingo at me, like, man, it's gonna tighten up your accuracy. I'm like, yeah, okay, heard that one before, but man, I'm telling you, it does. One of the worst things about an AK, and it doesn't matter what caliber it is, the barrel flexes. It's like a limp noodle, man. You lean on anything at all, even your handguard, because the handguard touches your handguard retainer, touches the barrel. They are just so susceptible to throwing rounds, especially at distance. And I have been shooting a ton of matches that require me to shoot out to 500. Man, I'm telling you, that MMS rail on that K101 has turned what was a fairly accurate gun when I didn't flex the barrel to a laser beam with junk 55 grain Tula steel case ammo at 500 yards. Easy. We got all the videos to back it up. It was not doing that before that rail was installed. And now, coupled with that rail, that's solid. If you mount it right, super solid. You've got optic mounts, and I know some other things may be coming that might couple to it.
We may have been testing that this weekend at the shop.
So I'm a believer. I know there's a bunch of different AK rails out there. There's a ton of good ones. There's some that look sexy, might be a little flexy. There's some that are completely unobtainable. Can't get it anymore. Zenico, I'm looking at you. It's just not even feasible anymore. I'm telling you, dude, this MMS rail, it to me is a big deal. It really is. Big deal in the accuracy department. That full-length rail that extends past your lower handguard retainer doesn't need the lower handguard retainer at all. Doesn't touch it, doesn't use it to mount. You can twist anything you want on this handguard, and it does not affect the barrel in the slightest. And we have been getting 500-yard hits extremely easy with AKs, which is not an easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to do at all.
Yeah, that was one of the major criteria. When you're going into a market that has other products, I don't know if they would say they're directly competitive, but other people making similar things to that, like the first question you got to ask is, is it worth making this for the market? If so, how can we differentiate ourselves, and what can we do and think about that would make this a better product for the end user? And, Rob was a major part of this. I don't know if he'll take any credit for it, but like he was like it was him and I back and forth for months. Like, okay, so, how are we going to do this? What makes the difference? What would be better? And like that accuracy and that free float thing was the one thing that we're like, okay, this has to be the core of it. If it doesn't increase accuracy, if it doesn't create a true free float, what are we really doing that's different? And then the optic mount was the second thing. Okay, so mounting an optic mount to the lower handguard mount, that's like very unique and different, especially when you free float that handguard. So by not attaching it to the receiver and not attaching it to the handguard retainer and only clamping the barrel creates this true free float like you're talking about. And then that way, when you push down on that handguard, the lower handguard can still flex, but the barrel doesn't move whatsoever. And then you get the solid mounting feature of that 1913 gas tube if you want to mount an optic or a laser on that. It was just, I would have loved to see some of the optic mounting accessories come out way sooner, but we've done our best to get as many handguards and base systems out on the market. And you said you've known us to make a lot of products since you've met. This will probably blow your mind. Actually, I'm going to let you guess. How many SKUs do you think we've launched this year? Oh, you already said it?
I already said it earlier.
Oh, she already said
Yes,
it.
she did. It was like 80.
82.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was as of last week, and we're getting ready to launch some this week. So we're always trying to come out with something new and something better. But the MMS, most of the products that we design is I'll use something or I'll try to set up a gun a certain way and I just can't get it exactly to where I want it to be. And I'm like, man, if this was only this, or if I could do this, then we can, get that optimal setup. So I'll end up creating my own products or our own products. That's usually what happens.
The 6551, no, I mean, 6553 handguard retainer.
Yeah.
That was it. I think it was just him and me and maybe a couple other people that bought them. And you made how many?
Oh, I need one of those. I need another one of those, by the way.
Yeah, it was a crowd. You made how many of those?
I don't know.
Yeah, and that was it. I don't remember anybody
like
else.
Run, yeah.
I'm sorry?
It was like a one-time run.
Yeah, it was a one-time run. That was it. And I think you just sold out recently. It's still on the website, but it's sold out.
Oh, you guys gave us one, and then I had a buddy get 2 handguard sets into the country that we have to adapt to American SIGs. So,
yeah, I think I got he sent me the
that's
last
right.
one.
We did make that because I wanted to convert my SIG. That's
exactly.
the reason we made
Exactly.
100 of them because I wanted to convert my SIG.
Yeah,
I've had that piece for years.
Yeah.
Dude, you gave me that piece before I
there.
ever even owned one. And then one day you reminded me, you're like, hey, that 551A one you have, if you ever get Swiss furniture, well, I finally did. And we got 553 furniture and 550 furniture for our 2 post samples. And I'm like, Carlos gave us that ferrule. We can mount it, but I need one more because I've only got one and I've got 2 guns now. But Jerry hit the nail on the head. JMAC single-handedly made putting a can on an AK extremely easy, regardless of thread pitch and barrel concentricity. It was suppressing AKs 5-6 years ago was 10 times harder than it is now. And you've got companies like K&S and other people, but it's just that thread pitch, man. Suppressor companies other than Dead Air coming out with the Wolverine really did not play nice with European thread pitches at all. They just didn't. You had to get rethreaded to American thread pitches. Some barrels are just not thick enough for that or thin enough or whatever. Justin making so many thread pitches now, the 360 breaks that don't have to be timed is a lifesaver with shimming and how so many of your muzzle devices face mount on AKs instead of smashing into the sight post, which is, don't do that. If any of you have done that, don't do that.
Do not. Those are cast parts.
But these X37s, it's night and day what it used to be trying to put a can on an AK. It was either buy a Wolverine or do something super trick, get a gunsmith involved. Now it's a muzzle device. It's pick your poison with one of these muzzle devices.
Yeah. I remember you would have to do because nobody had a 30 cal 14x1 muzzle device. So usually we'd have to thread it to 1/2x28 and then bore out the 5.56 suppressor mount in order to make it work.
That's right. Yeah.
Now that's the thing of the past with everything that the JMAC offers. It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm suppressing guns I never thought I could have suppressed before.
I just got
find a muzzle device.
Yeah, I think we got 26 thread pitches now. It's absolutely absurd. And then
You're even making the German. What's the German like G36 thread pitch? What is that?
That's 15 or this?
The 13 by 1
Yeah.
left hand, and then the 50 by 1 and 17 by 1.
Right. Who was making that kind of stuff before?
Nobody. I don't remember anybody making it. The only thing I think it was Surefire.
Oh yeah, Surefire.
But they don't make them anymore because now like the PTR, the HKs that are made here come in 5/8 by 24 now.
Right. Very true.
Yeah, so, eventually they caught up.
I will say one thing real quick, but I know you're going to probably switch gears. But speaking of suppressing the AK, and I would say we are the experts at suppressing the AK because we have made more muzzle devices than anyone else for the AK. 100% facts for sure. We were at NRA and we were talking to AAC, and I don't know if I'm sure some of your followers are following us on Instagram, but we talked to AAC about their 51 tooth mount, and I've got the SDN6, and I mean you got the M4 2000. So the SDN6 was the very first suppressor that I ever ran on an AK, but I had to make my own custom adapter for their 51 tooth mount. So we worked with them over the past 3 months to license their 51 tooth. So we're going to have all of the metric flavors of the 51 tooth with our 360 HD design coming out over the next few months.
Did you post a picture of that? I know I've seen the picture. You might have texted it to me. Do you have a picture of that on your Instagram?
Yeah, I think I posted it also.
Last Friday.
So it's a video from last Friday. I don't think it's a picture. I don't know if you can play a video in here.
I can. I'm not too sure where it's at. And things like mini barrels. I don't know of anybody that makes not only a suppressor mount, but any muzzle device whatsoever for a mini barrel. And I think so many people aren't buying those mini barrels because there's not a whole lot you can do with them. Well, now you can suppress them. I suppressed the crap out of mine with your muzzle device. I've got a picture of it here. It's just things like this, like, oops, sorry, that's a video. Justin, we're getting enough Justin right now. Yeah.
You are 360 HD, the right muzzle device for you? Let's find out. The 360 HD is the latest muzzle device from JMAC Customs. We took the original 360 and we improved the design by increasing the amount of material between the baffles.
Super cool. But you can see it here, right there. Nobody in their right mind would make a muzzle device for a mini barrel because how many people in the comments own a mini barrel? And it's such a goofy thing. It's a barrel extension with a weird thread pitch. Yeah. And the gun wasn't in the country long at all. And then bam, there's a way to put a suppressor on it. It made me instantly I didn't want a mini barrel before that because a lot of people, when you get into suppressors, it starts to influence what guns you buy. Cause you're like, God, can I put a can on that? I can't suppress it. I'm not going to buy it. The second I saw that, I was like, I'm freaking pulling the trigger on one of those mini barrels. Now that would be so cool with a Sandman on it.
While you're on that page, the trunnion that you're looking at there, we actually make barrel, however you say it, rear trunnion now. So it's got the extra, the Polish trunnions have 3 rivets, the new ones. So we added that to our MRKT trunnion, and we're the only ones that I know of that make a rear mounting trunnion for that mini barrel as well.
That's cool. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
We've actually worked with CW to get the specs on it.
I tested out the prototype on that one. We installed it on a mini barrel to see if it fretted in perfect the first try. They got it right on the first try.
Yeah, I was trying to find the video on your AAC mount. I know I saw it.
Scroll up. The screen's hard to see because this light's crazy bright. Right there, AAC 51 tooth, top right.
Top right, there we go.
We start off with 2.
Yeah. Super cool. And it's 360, so there's no timing. You just tighten it until it stops, which is super cool. But there you go.
Yeah,
and so many of these
all those guys that had the M4 2000 hidden away in back of the safe, bring it back to the light now.
I know a guy, and I know a guy who has been waiting for something like this. Just has that old dusty can that he can't get devices for anymore, can't put it on certain guns. So this is super cool. It's really cool, man. No, there's not a lot of manufacturers that will make niche product or products for a niche gun, because I guess one would think, why would you? If I'm gonna make something for half by 28 and sell 1,000 of them, why would I spend all the same time and money on this thing? I might sell 50 of them. I don't know how that works financially for you, but the fact that you're doing it is super freaking cool.
No, we ask ourselves that question all the time. But this goes back to, if I had this gun and I wanted to set it up the way, for my needs, these are the products that are required to do that. So I know if I'm wanting it, there's going to be a handful of guys out there and gals that want the same thing. And for them, having that experience and having those options and opportunities, I think there's not a lot of companies that actually think about that. And you're right. A lot of companies focus on profits. Everybody's got to be profitable as a business or you can't, continue in business. But I love designing products and I love doing weird stuff like that. So I think that's always, I get fussed at all the time and like, hey, we got to actually make money too. So what's all this little weird thread pitches and stuff that don't sell? I'm like, well, there's like 5 people that I sure love this product.
The VZ58.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The VZ58 thread pitch.
Stop.
I knew that was going to hit a nerve with Ash.
Oh, there's still some products that have a bad taste in Ash's mouth that, it's never going to happen again.
Half by 36.
Oh, I hate it.
I know them all. But yeah, no, like I said, he's brought the AK to the suppressor world because it was not out there. It's to this day, most companies make maybe one mount in 14x1 for the AK,
and that's where they stop at 14x1.
That's it, one, and it's a flash hider, and that's it.
Yeah.
So now with what they're offering, and if you look at my Instagram, everything I post, almost everything is suppressor ready, and it has a JMAC mount on it.
And suppressed AKs are, if they are done right and they're tuned just right, they're magical to shoot. It's such a unique feeling, suppressed shooting experience compared to AR-15s. It feels totally different.
Yes.
It's very a slow, like a rubber bandy slinky feeling. It's a very different feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
I would love to tell the comment section, now is the time to start flooding with questions. Now that you've got Poppy and J-Bone here, hit me with some questions. I've been ignoring some really good questions here. If we haven't which we haven't answered any, drop them now and we'll start reading them. I'll put them on the screen so these guys can read them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll read them out to you. I know you're getting blinded by the light. Your eyes are not. What's that line from Tombstone? Eyes closed by the sun, but sharp as a hawk. No, he's got light beaming in his face right now. Wolf Avery says, when's JMAC going to start making triggers?
No.
There you go.
So I don't know that that's our specialty. A lot of triggers are, if we made a trigger, which I doubt we will, it would have to be like some sort of forged billet, something like that. A lot of people cast the triggers, and I guess that has its place. But I will say that we probably have no plans of making a trigger. But if we did, it would be like an all billet type setup. So, all
right, fire round. Justin, you go first. What's your Holy Grail AK? And then Carlos, you answer next.
Oh shoot, Holy Grail AK is my that I own or just in general.
Maybe you already own it. Maybe you still want it.
I'm gonna throw out one that I already own that I think is probably one of the most rare AKs, probably in the U.S. I have an MD86 carbine 545 with the original barrels. That's a Romanian carbine. So it's like the MD90 but the 545 version.
Oh, sick.
Super rare. And I put that together with a SAR 2 or 3. What's the 545?
The
2.
The 3 is the 5.6.
So the SAR 2, I use that receiver. So the whole gun, it's an SBR, and it's 100% as legit as it possibly can be, with, of course, without the 3-round burst. But that was I'm a Romanian geek when it comes to collecting. So that's probably mine.
Me, East German. I have the parts there. I just haven't had time to do it. The AKS 74 NK, the 12 and a half, that has the little lug, also
little lug that supports the cleaning rod, and
exactly.
yeah.
And that's been a dream. And the thing is, I've built 2 or 3 already for customers. But so I was able to find.
I know a guy that you built one for, and I've shot it.
That's right. Yeah. So I have all the furniture, everything. I had the children's receiver make me the receiver with the East German markings, and it's just time.
And when you build yours, let me know. I'll send mine too.
Oh, that's right.
I got 2 kits actually. I got the full 74 with original East German barrel, and I got the 74 NK too with our.
Yes, speaking of this wall of rare parts kit, man, it's crazy.
All right, next question.
Everything he's got in there. Sometimes when I'm down there, the last time I was down there was a couple of months ago. I went in there and started to look because he's got so much shit that he's forgotten about.
Oh, I saw that you had an Iraqi Tabuk kit. You were like, I think it's in that one box right there. And I opened it, I'm like, holy shit, I've never even seen one of these before. And it had this beautiful furniture that had like scroll work on it. And he's like, yeah, I forgot I had that damn thing.
Original he's got some cool stuff, with the engravings and everything. Yeah.
Yes, I'd brag on that kit all the time. I tell that story all the time. I'm like, he's like, pick that box right there. Iraqi Tabuk, already super rare, and it has this really intricate furniture set. Never seen it before. All right, next question. And this is a good question. Okay. What are some products that never made it to light? Maybe some failed products. Seemed like a good idea, didn't work out.
Probably not worth even talking about.
Failed products that never made it to light. The amount of prototypes that we actually make before we make the product. I don't know if we ever set out to design and make a product and didn't complete it, but the prototypes that failed up to the point of actually making the end product, every single SKU is that way. So when we did, I'll just do the RD4, the original RD4. I've got the original prototype somewhere. We made so many prototypes for that muzzle device because we wanted to make sure that it worked perfectly. So I would say that our failed would be the original prototypes leading up to the manufacturing of our products. We don't just draw something in CAD and be like, that's the one. So we actually make it, we test it, and then we find its shortcomings and then constantly improve. I mean, we may be 20 prototypes deep into something before it ever hits the market.
Definitely.
I can attest. I have a bin full of prototype parts somewhere in the back there that this didn't work. And then I get a week later, I get another one sent so we can test it out. A bunch of muzzle brakes that are in the white there. The handguard, the MMS. I have a bunch of 3D printed ones somewhere in the bin.
Call up, be like, hey, you're going to have to start again. This didn't
work out. And then, like I said, sometimes there's at least 5 or 6 of them, and then, like I said, sometimes like the Mini Barrel MRKT. The thing is, that's probably because it already existed, so it was just identifying the third rivet. So that's why they got it right in the first time. So there's only one prototype of that I have to get somewhere in the bin.
All right, Jerry, you've asked like 5 times, so I'll ask. Ash is going to get mad. Justin, what's your workout routine?
We work out every morning.
So right now we're mixing it up with cardio and weightlifting. So we do 6 days a week, get up at 5:30 every day. We make time to work out. We don't have time to work out. So I think that's just a part of feeling good and having the energy to do what we do. When I don't work out, it's I really just feel drained all the time. So that's kind of just boosts my metabolism. I feel a lot better. I get a lot more accomplished. So you got to make time for yourself. And I always say this, if you're not strong to take care, and I'm not talking like physically strong, I'm talking like all around body, mind. If people depend on you, you've got to be there for them. You've got to keep yourself in good condition for that, because, some days people can't, like Ash and I were talking about, we're not all 100%. So we got to be there for each other.
Very true.
Practical Civilian. JMAC pistol braces. They make tons of them.
So our most popular is the AB8, AB9R, which we call our arm bar. And we got the rise, the non-rise versions. And on the back part of that, we've got, you can either do a folding butt plate, which would be a stock, or you can do our ABBA, which is our brace adapter. That brace adapter uses either the Mod 1C, Mod 1 tail hook, or it could use the strong arm pistol brace, anything that clamps onto the rear of an AR-15 pistol buffer tube. We also have the ST6 that can accept the SBA 3, SBA 4, any of those M4 style collapsible pistol braces. And as far as, and I know this is probably going to be the next question, we looked into manufacturing our own brace portion, and it's not feasible as far as like, it'll never be approved, and it'll always be, there's some people I think is putting them on the market, but they don't have approval. So we don't want to go down that road. We don't want to put something in someone's hands that could cause them trouble later.
Well, there you go. I'm not too sure what this means because I'm not a big brain, but Finley asks, what's up with the Omega mounts for chemo and the EXT BDS?
Omega mounts for chemo. Okay, so I'm assuming the Omega mounts he's talking about is the Charlie, or maybe he's talking about the actual. I know what he's talking about. So we source if he's talking about the Dead Air chemo adapters, we source those from Dead Air. We don't manufacture them. So we're waiting on Dead Air to fulfill that order. We have BDS and EXT BDS in stock. So as soon as Dead Air ships us those products, they will be available on the website, if that's the question that's being asked there.
Good, because I had no idea what he was asking. Let's see. David wants to know, is there an AK that you're not a fan of?
Honestly, I love all AKs. It's an AK. Don't matter what it is. It's an AK. I don't know any. I would have said the AMD 65, but it's grown on me. And, since I'm an SOT, I can, it's mine, it's full auto. So I just love shooting it from the hip. Because first, the stock sucks. So I just love the way it feels shooting it from the hip of a full auto. That's probably why it's on the list.
If I had to just pick one thing to be critical about as far as shooting goes, just straight up shooting, I love an underfolder for the way it looks. But, and trust me, I don't know how many underfolder guns I have.
Really?
Yeah,
I love my mini Draco underfolder.
Clay's the same thing.
Dude, I remember you shooting at the last JMAC SMS with a 75 round drum.
It was free ammo. I was being nice. I said I liked everything while I was there.
So as far as I'll just say, as far as shooting goes, I'm gonna throw the underfolder under the bus. But it's cool and I like it to a certain extent. But it's not quick to deploy. You smash your finger if you're not watching what you're doing. You can't use the safety. You can't use it with drum mags or 40 round mags. I feel like that stock has so many limitations on what it can and can't do.
That is true. You're very right on limitation on that. Like I said, I love the underfold, the classic style underfolder. That I hate. That angle that turns your cheek well to a chin well. That's
like
build
for me. Jesus, like milled receiver. It's like at a 45 degree
anything
angle.
like the Romanian AMD 65 or the classic AK 47s.
Yeah.
That have the angle or even the Chinese underfolders.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty wicked.
Yeah, they're all that angle. That's it. I prefer Hungarian, Polish, Bulgarian, Russian style with the straight stock.
Next question. The question is, am I just R-worded for considering to purchase a transferable 1919 A4, or should I just buy more JMAC? What's the better financial decision?
Of course, you should always buy more JMAC, but I think for long-term investing purposes, if you can afford to buy a transferable machine gun, I think that you're always going to be well worth it. 10, 20 years from now, that's always going to go up in value. So
and then they stay in collections for a long time, so they'll disappear.
But you could, on the other hand, buy a limited 1 of 20 JMAC CW IMR that will also go up in value.
Yep, exactly, and it'll last you forever.
Christian wants to know, he says, I know there's the stock adapters for the milled guns, but are more options in consideration for the future than what you currently have for milled AKs?
Yeah, actually next week we are dropping the RSA. Let me get my letters and numbers right here. RSA, AK, NTR, and RSA AK. So the NTR is no tang removal, which will be a 1913 adapter that adds about 1.25 inches length beyond what if you had a flush receiver. And it does require that lower tang removal, but that lower tang is riveted in place. So you pop the rivets out, you put the adapter in. If you ever want to go back to that classic stock or poly stock, whatever, you can put the lower tang back in and be able to reinstall that. We do, and we were asked for it. I know there's going to be a lot of hate on that product because people are going to chop the shit out of their guns, sorry. But we do have one that's a flush mount too that does require permanent modification by cutting that top tang off.
But it won't add any length to the receiver.
Got it. Yeah. Because that's one thing that's always turned me off. Some with the tangs, if you leave them there, there's a big chunk of it. You just have to have a big chunk of an adapter there. There's really no way to get around that.
Yeah, ours is super attractive, and it has 2 QD mounts. I'll throw that out there too.
Several people have been asking, will there be micro Draco MMS handguards?
Yes, the problem with the micro Draco, or the opportunity with the micro Draco, I guess I will say, is that the gas tube on a micro Draco is non-removable. When you push the front sight block,
there is no gas tube.
Yeah, so when you press the front sight block back, I guess it is.
There isn't. Yeah, it's
oh wow, never knew that.
So what we have to do instead of our current upper mount, it can't go between the barrel and the gas tube or whatever it's called. So we have to make our plans are to make an upper cover that's also a 1913 rail to mount optics. So instead of a gas tube, it'll be a gas tube cover.
Nice.
But we're
it's
definitely
not that they don't like
that.
you micro Draco guys filming all your rap videos. It's just difficult to make the part right now.
Yeah, I think there's only one that I the only one I really mounted, which is the SLR. There's another one there that you have to drill and tap the top what used to be the rear side block in order to mount it, and it's not really pretty. It's not really ugly.
We do make the mini Draco, by the way, which is we got those options.
Yes, I have one of those rails. We have a couple of those.
Man.
Dan Booker's in the comments.
Another
JMAC shooter. By the way, go follow Dan's Instagram page. And Dan, I don't know if you're still making YouTube. I know you did it one time. If you do, let them know and they'll go follow you. Dan says, be a man, chop the tang. I chopped my Russian tang like a boss. That's pretty ballsy, but he did it. Good job. Dan's been destroying competitions, by the way, lately.
Yeah,
he's been doing great.
Absolutely.
Don't worry, Dan. Just keep the old tang, and if we ever regret it, we can weld it back on.
This is a good question. Tosh Miller, what products are made in West Virginia? I guess the better question is, where are your products made at this point?
So we do have a machine shop still in West Virginia that manufactures some of our products. That is the boosters, the Mod 1, the Mod 2, the flash hiders, and is there anything I'm missing? Shotgun brakes.
Yeah.
But those are transitioning.
2C, but those are
but we're moving those to the big shop. We have partnered up with MDI-Co, who are based in Gilbert's, Illinois. And we decided to make that change, one, because Drew is an awesome guy and awesome to work with. But manufacturing in West Virginia is really difficult because, there's not steel factories in West Virginia. There's not a very industrial place. Its only industry really is coal mining. So it's kind of what was happening is we were manufacturing our products. They would ship to us for quality control checks. We would ship them to the secondary processing, nitride anodized. They would ship them back to us and we would check them again. So the amount of money we were spending annually on shipping back and forth between the processing was just crazy. So we linked up with MDI. They take care of 100% of the manufacturing. They drive the parts to the secondary processing, drive them back, and then do the quality control checks. They also get the steel from a local manufacturer. So all of our materials that we use, we do our best, and we always try to source the U.S. made steels, and we do everything, U.S. as much as possible. So that's why we chose to work with them and work out there, and everything's very well established in that area for that type of manufacturing. Does that I cover all that? It's a lot.
That actually begs a question that I forgot to ask earlier. And this is kind of a question for you and Ash, briefly.
Do you want to jump back in?
We have been to your house. We've been around town. Rachel and I like to describe you guys as a very bougie, right? Very bougie couple. So in West Virginia, do you guys like ever like just stick out like a sore thumb in your neck of the woods over there? Because you live an alternative lifestyle for most people in your area, I would say.
I think we're just local nobodies.
We adapt to kind of any setting we're in, right? So when we were in Greece, people thought I was Greek. When we're in Miami, we've got the Miami vibe. When we're in Texas, we've got the Texas vibe. But we're always authentic to who we are and our style, but it's always fun to kind of change it up. I mean, back home, we're cruising around. I mean, yes, of course, in the G-Wagon and the new TRX. But then there are days where you're just like, hey, let's just jump in the Humvee, cruise around with the dogs and go to the park or have a picnic, or let's go to Mexican. So it's just always fun to just throw on the flannel and the boots and do the thing. And then it's also really fun to put on the Gucci and go to, a fancy restaurant that we love to support. So yeah, we've got our local establishments. They all know us there. They love us, and, they treat us like family. And we try to do the same for our customers too.
If you guys want to see a bit more of that, check out the JMAC Lifestyles page.
Definitely.
They pull the curtain back a little bit there, and you get to see Justin put the exhaust on his TRX and try to go almost as fast as the Type R Raptor. I'm sure he's getting close, but it's probably not quite there yet. But this is a really cool follow.
Yeah, we share a lot of our other passions in life. We collect timepieces. We love to take our dogs on adventures. We're foodies. We love to travel. I've also been working on a special side quest, right? So now that we're able to have more team members in place to kind of help drive JMAC, that lets me be creative in the background and work on other projects and diversifying our brands. So little sneak peek, I thought I saw a comment. Someone was talking about Justin's beard. I've been working on some special sauce that you guys will see very soon. Actually, they just arrived to the warehouse while we were in transit to Miami. So you can be on the lookout for some self-care items very soon.
Very freaking cool. Let me see.
So yes, we stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know you do. I just wanted to hear you say
it. ADD.
But we're true to ourselves, and we hang out with who we like, and if people don't like us, that's cool too.
Our friends are everywhere. So we've got Rob in Arizona, we've got CW here in Miami, we've got Clay and the other crew in Texas. We've got Alan in Colorado. We've got Mike here just outside of Miami in Florida. I feel like our friends are just kind of scattered, but that also gives us the opportunity to travel. So as far as like doing friend stuff back home, that's more like dogs and family.
Or hanging out in the garage in the Humvee. Just
we've got our friend Donnie
and stuff like that. I like doing that.
And we've got our friend JP's that I do like home projects with Donnie, and then Justin does like vehicle projects with his friend JP, and we all smoke meat and hang out and do all that fun stuff there in the summertime. So we've got our select crew that like to
just not this guy.
Which guy?
Oh yeah.
I love Tufu. Tufu is in Tennessee.
Oh man, Tufu is you'll never forget the first time you meet him.
Nope.
Interesting fella.
Impossible.
He's a very special friend, a very special person, super supportive.
So there's still a ton of questions coming in. I want to be respectful of your time. We've been going about an hour and 45 minutes here. I know it's much later for you than it is me. We can go as long as you want, but I do want to be respectful of your time. So if you guys are getting to a point where you're ready to wrap, if there's anything that you'd like to talk to before we do.
Yeah, wait, very quickly, I want to say our sale is actually coming to an end very soon. So head over to the website, jmac-customs.com. When you use the code at checkout, you can enter in the coupon code BTBF23. Acronyms with Ash. What does that mean? Better than Black Friday in the years 2023. So when you use that code, you get 20% off of your entire purchase. That is a one-day sale only. That will end at midnight tonight, EST. So if it's almost 9 o'clock, wherever you are, go ahead and just check out. If you have any questions that you'd like to throw that are product related before you check out, I would say rapid fire those right now.
Yeah.
And that code's on their website, so you can't forget. It's literally right here.
It's on the homepage. It will disappear. It will disappear at midnight.
This is always, we always like to do the Better Than Black Friday, and it is our biggest sale of
the year.
This
our
is
biggest one-day sale.
Discount we ever offer. So.
That's correct.
Okay. Questions are coming in faster than I can read them.
All right, let's rock them.
Let's go.
We'll go fast. We'll take turns.
BTBF23. I'm not sure if that's an actual part number. Is that a part number?
No, that's the code. That's the coupon code.
Cool. There was a question earlier I wanted to throw at you. I thought it was a good one. Here we go. Looking forward to the next evolution of JMAC products. This is by Negligent Discharge, by the way. Do you guys see a modular stock that has an adjustable cheek riser, adjustable shoulder pad, height, and overall length of pull maybe in your future?
Yes.
I thought the answer would be no. That's pretty cool.
Well, I will say that we do offer the reason we did the skeleton stocks is it's slim and folds nice and it's super lightweight.
And you've got
so that was why we wanted to do it first. And then we did the ST6 for the collapsible. But we are already working on
development.
Exactly what he described.
Yes.
Not product related, but Steven wanted to know, hey, Ash, were you always into guns or did Justin get you into them?
I was never like on the range. You know, you see a lot of girls go to the range with their dad or their grandpa. That was not me. I was, the cheerleader, the gymnast, the super duper girly girl. I'm still very girly girl. But yes, Justin definitely got me into the platforms, into the shooting. He taught me basically firearm safety from the very start with taking, the AR-15 apart virtually on an app on the iPad to taking it apart in real life and putting it back together. Then the same with the AK, putting it back together, dry firing, and then just, live action shooting on the range. And then the first time I actually shot full auto was that the promotion we did for Eric there in West Virginia when I came in.
Blackheart International.
Yeah, Blackheart International. When I came in to do that promotional video for them. So that was my first time shooting full auto. And if it's still on YouTube, and it should be, it's like the white dress, Black Hole Sun is the soundtrack, shooting the Sten and the Thompson. So those were my first ever full autos. And I'm telling you, it's just something that was addictive from the very beginning. It's like, I love this. I want more. Let's go.
Yeah, Ash can shoot, dude. She's got really good stance, good fundamentals.
Thank you. I had a great
push people around all the time, and Ash can shoot.
Thank you.
Mountain Gunner says, JMAC, thanks for putting West Virginia on the map. We don't get a lot of love. So much respect. Almost heaven.
Thank you. And we are proud to be from West Virginia.
We are very proud. And thank you for saying that. We were actually in Greece and we went to go have breakfast and our server said, hey, where are you from? And we told him West Virginia. You think, people in Greece, how would they know West Virginia? He said, I have the perfect song. So he seats us. And then by the time we're getting seated, they're playing Country Roads. And everybody, everyone there was from like the Netherlands, France, and then you've just got us, these West Virginians, and they're all being serenaded. So
everybody knew the song. Too.
Everybody knew the song. Everybody. So that was like really heartwarming.
What you got next, Clay?
That's badass.
Questions?
Message from Tony at Kyber Customs. This is
hey, Tony.
This is a question that hurts my soul. He says, "What posties are most and least reliable?"
We're gonna break some hearts.
Well, wait. Is this pre-modification? Is this post-modification? Is this with an experienced shooter? Because some would say that your firearm is only as reliable as the shooter. So
I'm going to say, and the AK is we run the AK. We all know that's good.
Mhm.
Subguns are, especially open bolt subguns, run forever unless you get a squib round like we did at Kalash Bash. ARs, direct impingement ARs, run great. And I will say that they do. They run great. The things that we always have problems with are like, should I say it? HK manufactured style gun, the roller locks, the G36s. We're always constantly getting failures there, breaking stuff with those. FS2000, we've broke multiple times. The FAL,
just ask Carlos. He's got a whole bin back here of things that we've broken that require.
We get a lot of
the artist's touch.
The FAL kept going down on us at Kalash Bash.
It's funny, every gun you've listed out of our post samples, the MP5s are JMACs. We've totally destroyed and had to rebuild an FAL. And oh man, what was it? I just had it in my head. Those two are the worst so far. MP5s, just not reliable in full auto. They're just not.
Nope.
Fun, yes. And do we have what to make them even better? Yes. Check out the RSA MP5, RSA MP5K, any JMAC stock with that folding mech. You know, we got you.
But I will say, if you maintain your MP5 and you clean it and you check the parts that are prone to fail and replace them as necessary, and you're not just taking them to the range and just beating the crap out of them, they are good guns. And they suppress well. So.
Yeah, your firearms are your tools, right? And if you want your tools to be reliable, then you've got to run out and use them, run them, test them, clean them,
and maintain
them.
Anything 22 is unreliable too, like a 1022, and all the 12 gauge AK style shotguns, their gas systems clog up about 300 rounds. You got to take them apart and clean them. Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, AK meltdowns seem to be the ones that produce the longest videos. I know in your experience too.
Facts. I mean, we did that. We straight up did, what part was that? 3 or 4? I don't even remember at this point for the PSA. We did that live there at Kalash Bash this past year. So
yeah, we were hoping to break it at Kalash Bash just so we can kind of see what would happen. And then we got timed out. So
yeah, that effing barrel seems to be legit, man. It really does.
Any other product questions as we get near the end of the promo?
So we have some people that must have not heard it. They were asking, do we have any good Black Friday sales from Joe Bender?
Joe, yes, today is our Better Than Black Friday sale until midnight Eastern Standard Time. So we're coming up close on that. The code is BTBF23. That stands for Better Than Black Friday, and the year is 2023. So this is our biggest one-day sale of the year, the only day of the year where you will get 20% off.
Boom, there you go. Big Papa Fluffy, my man.
Oh, hey, wait, real quick. If you want to stay up to date with promos and production, you can go to our website, jmac-customs.com, and sign up for our weekly newsletter. This will keep you updated on product launches, restocks, any events that we'll be at, any literature that we're posting on the website, there on the blog, any literature when it comes to like our MMS or suppressor mounts with charts and compatibility. I think I saw someone ask if we were developing any further into the configurator. We are not, but we are looking into other technology to bring onto the website. So that's something, you know, the team, Justin and Rob, are working on in the background. So just know that we are working on creating a better customer experience there on the website. The configurator was great, you know, as we are going through it. But we think we found something even better. So always expect us to just continue raising the bar there for compatibility over on the site. But also, you don't have to go on Instagram and say, hey, when are you restocking this? Go to the website, to the product page for, let's say, the HRD sold out today in black. You want to know when that comes back in stock, you put your email there in the notify me. And the moment it hits inventory, you get notified before anybody else. You get an email like that, and you can check out before the email goes live on Friday for those restocks and launches.
There you go.
Okay,
Finley
Big
wanted
Papa
to tell you
Fluffy.
guys. Finley wanted to tell you guys, says, dude. Finley says, dude, I shot y'all's mini monster at Lethal Weapons earlier this year with just my earplugs in. LOL. The dude next to me asked, what the F was that I had in my hands?
So just like you said, Clay, back at Red October, was this 2016?
2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the very first one. Yeah.
So
that we went to.
We had the mini monster. That was the very first one. And people would come over to our booth and we're like, hey, where's the 50 cal? So like people were like, what in the world is going on? But the mini monster is our absolute #1 crowd favorite gun. People come to the booth just to shoot it year after year after year. And like, it's the one that really draws people in. It's super loud, super obnoxious, flames 2 foot off each side.
So the mini monster was actually like my brainchild. I was like, hey, you know, John at M13, this is what I want. Let's make it happen. And then, hey, John at 11 Mile, this is how we want it to look. Let's make it happen. And then when she arrived, she immediately got the name Mini Monster because she just throws those fireballs, and you can't help but like laugh and smile and just get tickled because it's so fun, and everybody just lines up. They are running nonstop at Kalash Bash. We just keep them in rotation. They run nonstop. Everybody loves the mini monster, and it's funny. CW had a customer in here earlier today, and he was about to leave, and I'm like, hold up, wait, we need a new SOP. Nothing leaves CW Gunworks without a JMAC muzzle device, right? So we tossed on the LAF, and he's like, oh, this comes with earplugs? Well, yeah, it does, and because you're going to need to double up. So got him set up for success, and he should be doing low light, no light testing with it this evening. So pretty excited to see those pictures and videos and get his feedback.
Just a quick share. That's what that muzzle brake looks like. It's pretty freaking intense, man. Pretty crazy. Basement
Remember
ops.
the night shoot?
Oh, dude.
We would all just line up and shoot the LAF on like all the platforms.
Yep.
Downrange. Oh, it was just so epic. It was like a
You kind of just shoot like this. You just open your eyes just enough to see downrange, blinding at night.
And you can feel it going down your nose.
It'll
like
clear
into
your
lungs.
It does.
Yeah.
It thumps your chest and everyone around you. It's pretty crazy. It's
What else
pretty
we got?
awesome. I remember in
Any other
2017
product
at that Red October, you were setting off car alarms, and that's
Mhm.
it was everyone was talking about it. Basement Ops asks AKV chemo or Xeno. I can't tell if he's asking if you make it or what you would put on an AKV.
So I've not really used the Xeno system. We don't have any plans on manufacturing that. We have our X series that, in my opinion, is very similar to that. We've had it for a while now. We do make chemo options for the AKV. For that one, I would definitely recommend going with the 28F, which is 1/2x28 face mount. That's what I would do with that. 360 HD or 360. For that one, you could go with the 28F.
I can't really see the screen because it's far away and we're being blinded by lights, but I think someone's trying to ask a question about stock and stock adapter compatibility.
Yeah, let me see here. Christopher Michaels says, what are the chances you're streaming with people I'm looking to maybe get stuff from? I think he's been asking a bunch of questions about stocks.
Okay.
Christopher, ask us another question about the stock. Be very specific.
Yeah,
and
because
I'll share it on the screen.
As the comments are going up the screen, I lose it.
Tufu says, I remember buying all of my friends an LAF brake for Christmas one year. Great
That
stocking
is like
stuffer.
the best Christmas gift.
That's hilarious. You would do that, too.
I love that, Tufu. I love it.
In fact, I have one.
I do see a question that says
Right here.
piston-driven ARs. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Man. And it's a pretty
love the,
sharp-looking muzzle device.
Yeah. So the design efforts behind that was, let's do something no one is expecting JMAC Customs to do. Yes, you know, it must perform well. It must mitigate muzzle rise, but loud and flashy. Other people call it different names, but I like to say we named it after me, loud and flashy. You can hear me a mile away, and, I like to be bougie, so.
I love the LMT MRP, by the way. Someone asked about a piston.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, AR. That's one of my favorite AR uppers.
When we were doing custom builds, we did, several of those high-end with the quick change barrel system, so.
Yeah, I had a love affair with the PWS when I had it for a little while. That was just totally reliable with 7.62, which I thought was cool. Let's see. I'm curious about the MRKT for a couple weeks, 5.56 WBP build.
So MRKT, acronyms with Ash, what does that mean? That is our modular rear Kalashnikov trunnion. So
we make that in 3 different trunnion styles. One is the AKM, which is AKM AK-74, and then the other one that's also compatible with barrel. Then we do the Draco pattern trunnion, which is also compatible with the MD65, and then lastly the AKMS, which is compatible with Russian, Polish, Hungarian rear trunnions. If you're doing a blank build, I would go with the Draco because I like the design of it a little bit better, and it uses 2 long rivets. If the receiver already has the holes, it's probably going to be AKM most likely. So you just need to know what your receiver holes have. But the upside of the MRKT, the reason we designed it, is you can pretty much install any stock on the market. It's got ace drilled and tapped holes, and we have our Infinity mount IP in the rear of that. So we've got Folding Mex 1913 adapters, M4 adapters, and all of our stocks will fit on that.
We just have James B dropped $10 in the chat. Thanks. Money means nothing to Jim B. He asks, is the AK-74 the best rifle a woman should learn to shoot for the first time when it comes to AKs? Sure. No recoil.
What was my first AK? I just kind of AKS-74U, I feel like was my first AK. I just get in there.
47. You shot a Chinese AK first.
Okay. See, he would know better than me.
Yeah.
I remember that video. Rachel and I watched that video years ago.
Oh gosh, yeah. Was it Chinese?
It was.
Yeah.
It was the baked folder.
I was shooting the paper plates on the pallet.
I still have that.
That's when that guy came up and was like, "Can you guys stop shooting?" And it was like 6 o'clock in the evening on his family's private farm with acres upon acres upon acres. That was that day. Memory unlocked. Yeah.
So I have a Savage Bolt Action 22, and I've got a Gemtech suppressor on it. Anybody that I want to teach how to shoot a firearm to begin with, it's got like an 18-inch barrel. Like if they go to do something weird, you can just grab it real easy. Super easy, no recoil with a suppressor on it. It's not loud. It sounds like a pellet gun. So that kind of gets them used to the trigger, safety. I always recommend something single, 1 round at a time. Don't put a 30-round magazine in. Definitely get someone used to how a firearm works. It's more important to know like safety, your main points of owning and having a firearm. AK-74 is great, but go even more simple than that, I would say.
NGA Outdoors says, I just bought an MP5 rear pick adapter from JMAC. Nice quality. What I love about that, it unlocks a world of stocks that don't cost your kidney to buy to put on your AK. Now you can put anything that would mount up to a pick mount. And we have them on all of our post samples. There's just so much more stock options without spending huge money on HK or like B&T stocks. Thank
you, NGA. That's really nice. And we appreciate your support. And thank you for joining us tonight.
It's actually one of our best-selling SKUs.
Yeah, it really is.
Our standalone. It is our best-selling 1913 stock adapter.
Well, I figure most people are probably putting braces on them, and it does unlock you to way more braces than the factory mount does.
Yeah, especially with our arm bar. And then, if some uncertainty arises there with the braces, you can just pop that arm bar brace adapter off and put on our arm bar folding butt plate.
Basement Ops has been hitting us with some really good questions. He or she asked, I don't mean to assume gender, do you have a face mount 1/2x28 that is similar to the 360 and direct threads to an alpha mount for a rugged obsidian or an octane series?
So if you want alpha mount, that's our X12. We do make half 28 X12. It's been a while since I've looked at the SKUs on whether or not we have a 360. I'm pretty sure we do, but if we don't, we definitely have a 2C for that. And it would allow you to directly mount that rugged to half by 28.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry K. Man, he's been around for a long time. He says, JMAC, thank you for the swag at KB19. The very first KB got a Scorpion pick rear adapter and an RRD 4C 14x1 left hand 9mm. Sucks y'all couldn't be there, but you did support the event.
Yes.
And we were making it rain with JMAC products. And Jerry's been there since day one and got a lot of that stuff.
Awesome.
Hi, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry.
Hope you're enjoying it. We'll see you this year, next year.
April.
Do you still run the AB8 on your ZPAP M70? I know the video's 3 years old. I guess that's a question for me. Wasn't sure if there's a recommended JMAC you prefer. I'm stuck, man. So I have a whole collection of those stocks. The ones I freaking love. The AB8's awesome. I love the ones that now have the rubber. I think they all have rubber on the pads now.
Yeah.
The AB8 is probably my favorite. I think it's my favorite looking that you guys make. I find it the most aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. So like you said, the stocks have the rubber on, the rubber butt pad, but the folding butt plate for the arm bar does not.
Yes, get the Draco trunnion. It'll save you a little bit of money, and it's easier to. I think it's easier to install. I like that. Well,
Who are you calling out?
Jay
Okay.
Cush.
sorry, I just picked I guess I could have asked the question. But I just jumped in there like that.
We just
Yes.
answered Chris's question. Will y'all make a rubber folding butt plate? I guess we haven't. Will you make the folding butt plate rubber one day?
So the new stock that we're designing, whatever, we're going to do a wider rubber butt pad than what our current stocks have, because there's no constraint on that stock having to be super slim. And whatever that rubber injection mold is going to be is what we're going to use to update the ABFB. But don't look for that to come anytime like really soon.
Definitely not. Those injection molds take quite some while. It is a process. So you got to dial that in.
Big Papa Fluffy. Any chance for some JMAC hoodies coming soon?
You must have been seeing some sneak peeks in our stories while we were with the team in Illinois this past week and over the weekend. So definitely be on the lookout for those JC Octagon Gucci logo hoodies dropping soon. Those will be a limited edition run, and once they're gone, they are gone. Sign up for the newsletter on the website.
Tufu says, not a question, but I got a bunch of my local friends to run JMAC AB8s with 1913 on our suppressed 1022 chassis. That's
Love
pretty cool.
that'd be a
it.
sweet
That's
setup.
fun. That's fun. You can always count on Tufu to have like something fun.
Mm-hmm. You can always count on Tufu to get naked. A Kalash Bash this year.
Tufu, keep your clothes on.
Well, we have blown past the 2-hour mark, and I do want to be
All
super
right.
respectful of your time. Thank you, everyone in the comments, for asking questions. Justin, Ash,
CW.
CW, Carlos, everyone at CW. I want to let you all have the final word here, but I got to brag on you for a second here. The whole world that you guys have introduced me to, I can't thank you enough for all the support and help that you've given me. You've been super welcoming to Rachel, all the support that you gave Chris and I back when we were shooting together, that the whole thing, inviting us to your property on multiple occasions. Hey, there's Willie. Say hi, everyone. Yeah. Again, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart as a fan of yours, a fan of your product, a fan of your character, and thank you for just exploding on the scene with a gangsterling and making AK so much easier to own, suppress, competitive shoot, everything. Thank you for all of that and making parts for guns that no one buys, just for that one guy that buys it. Thank you for doing all that. And just thank you for being so freaking cool and exposing me to Carlos, to John, to SaberWorks, to so many companies I never really knew about that I met through you guys. Even when we go to NRA with you and you're saying, Clay, come meet this guy, introducing me to so many companies. You didn't have to do that, and you did. So I am forever grateful to you guys for everything that you've done for me and Rachel and Chris and everyone else that you've touched. Tony, I know, feels the same way. So thank you. Now you have the floor. Tell these people anything that you want to tell them, and then we'll kill the live stream for tonight.
Thank you for allowing us to do what we do. Thank you for providing passion and inspiration to us, our team, CW Gunworks, all the other well-renowned builders out here in the community. Thanks for showing up for us. Thank you for, buying our products and giving us the feedback. Just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We couldn't do this without you. And it's just a dream that it's just humbling. I'll say it's humbling after visiting with the team and the warehouse over the weekend and earlier in the week to teaming up with you guys here tonight. It's a very humbling and thankful experience for sure.
And I know you feel like you've said it multiple times that we've helped you, but I think that at this point, you've helped us, if more, probably more than we've helped you at this point. So I think it's this community, especially with the AKs, there's just a good group of people that only want the good, good things to happen with this sort of stuff. So as long as we just keep helping each other in this awesome community, I love it. It's just amazing.
There's so much room for everyone to be successful. And I feel like as you continue to lift one another up along the way, we'll continue to elevate. And, that is the goal here, to elevate your competitive shooting experience, elevate your firearm. Maybe someone's seeing this and they've been thinking about getting an AK, or they want to get, into the shooting world. So maybe this helps them feel a little more comfortable. Maybe we helped you pick out your muzzle device, whatever it may be. We want you to know that we are here for you to provide, the best products, the best customer support. And we've got some of the best builders, behind us, and we will only ever bring you the best things. Dan, we love you too. Carlos, you want to say anything?
Rachel, thanks for the moderation.
Thank you, Rachel. Love you guys.
We couldn't see all the comments.
Couldn't. I could see the light.
I think their microphones died.
Oh.
Thanks, Freedom Seeds. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate a manufacturer. Yeah, I think their microphones just ran out of battery.
Can you hear us now?
But they love you. We all love you. Thank you guys for watching. Wave. They can all still hear me. Thank you all for watching. We'll definitely see you next time. Go check out their Instagram, their website, get on that mailing list, check out their YouTube channel, and do the same for Carlos and Willie, Big Willie, over at CW Gunworks. And keep an eye out for that 1 of 20 AKs that they're going to launch soon. Try to get one and send it to me so I can film it and do a review on it. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.